So welcome back, viewers, and we are today having our recording for the episode 5, and very lucky today we are able to invite Mr. David Ling, who is also a negotiator with Sinjun Properties. Mr. David had years of experience as a banker, and now with his knowledge in banking, we are having an interview with Mr. David on his perspective of real estate investing. So, David, you mentioned about location.
Yes.
And you mentioned also about demand and supply. So is there any reason that people are making mistakes because they are over positive about the demand and supply and very over positive about the location? Because sometimes these are the impact that people feel when there is a project coming and therefore, buying into that project. Of course, some of them will say that the developers are promoting things which are really appealing to them, and they are buying for investment. Some people may think of it buying for doing Airbnb for recent time. There are topics on this where they buy and then they want to do Airbnb.
Yes.
Airbnb seems to be good. And then there are also people who buy because they want to prepare for a retirement home.
Yes.
So this is for own use. So in that aspect, David, maybe you can give us your personal feeling and your opinion.
Thank you, Thomas. I think we need to study the market very carefully before we invest. Yes, we can do Airbnb, but the public outside were paying a very good image, saying that what is the return, even though there are some developers may say have guaranteed return, but it is always good for the investor to evaluate themselves. Look at the present situation, what is the rental return? Like Kuching, we go and check around with those Airbnb company, what are the actual return they may have, and then the supply and the demand again.
All right.
So it is a long-term investment, like what I said. We need to be very cautious to study the market. Sometimes youngsters just follow friends. Just follow friends. They say that, oh, this one new condo coming out, that side new condo coming out. With a lot of goodies. No need to pay legal fees, stamp duty because developers are soft. But we must know that all this package is all packaged in already. It is good for them to own a unit. It is good, no need to come up with upfront capital. But yet again, we need to study carefully whether there is a potential there or not. So there are many factors if we look at it. Yet again, location is very important.
Location.
If we want to plan for retirement use, whether that place is suitable for you or not.
That's right.
And then the location, it is ideal or not. Because you may retire 20 years down the road or 10 years down the road. Then may have other development.
But what do you think there are people who think about investing in a bit of killing two birds with one stone? For example, a mid-aged person who has paid off his own house. Now he wants to invest. And then he is thinking like, I gave an example of retirement, right? So he thinks that 10 years later he will retire, or maybe 15 years later. He's now 35 years old, right? So plus another 15 years, he's probably touching 50 plus, right? Then he may want to move to stay in this place. But in the meantime, he said, I can do a Airbnb. So it's killing two birds with one stone. One for retirement, another one is to invest something which can make money. So is this a viable thinking?
Yes, to me, yes. But again, it has to be depending on personal capability to own the unit. We have to look for long term. If able to serve the loan, can afford to repay the installment for the next 10, 15 years or 20 years, why not?
Yeah.
And if it is a good location,
Yes.
good entry price, why not? Right?
Yeah.
Because property at good location will also always appreciate.
Yes. So on this topic, as you have mentioned before, there are factors, many factors. So what are the clear factors that is able to pinpoint to increase demand, increase the likely chance that you will gain in the investment? So you mentioned about near to hospital, Cozy Square. You mentioned about near to university. What other factors that you would want to advise or educate our viewer on to what are the calculated the risk that you got to take? Because we hear a lot of time, it's multiple development with shopping mall.
Yes.
Some mention about we have opposite here, the sports center.
Yes.
Then we talk about certain places, new airport.
Yes.
So what other things that you may want to share with our viewers on factors that can affect investment?
Right, Thomas, you got it right. We have to look at the overall development of the area. Like lately now, Madukawa area, MJC area, Pine Residence, Pine Square areas, right? It is growing area. So we can't go wrong, because this area overall is growing. And then of course there are many factors. If you have international school nearby, if you have hospital nearby,
yes.
Private hospitals, or even sports stadiums, and then also many other road system, highway, going through Pampona Highway, or going through ART areas. These are all factors that can increase the values of the property in that areas.
Right. So buying into property, most of it, the location is important.
Yes.
How about buying landed property versus condominium, like strata property? What is your advice to our viewer?
There are pro and con. For those people who are very busy, who cannot manage themselves, then the strata titles will be an ideal one, because they are property managers or the management company who look after the properties.
Yes.
And also they are gated and guarded. They have security.
Safety.
Yes. But for those landed one, in Kuching here, most people still like
landed property.
Right? But landed also got pro and con. Landed wise, the appreciation at good location is quite a lot, like Paula Old.
Paula Old.
I still remember 2008, 17 years ago, one unit is 450. Yes, by now
only 450.
450.
Now it's
double story 70.
Now it's close to.
But now it's close to 1.6, 1.7 million. Wow. Almost 3 or 4 times.
Yes.
But behind it, there's a lot of cost of maintenance cost too.
Yes.
If a landed house, if you leave it there, you don't maintain it, then it will be very run down.
Yes, very
so people cannot see.
People won't see
cost behind.
Correct. The cost behind people won't realize until they really manage the house.
Yes. Even the landscaping, even the roofing, the leakage, you got to do it. You got to fix it. And if you got piping, lighting, it is all your cost.
All costs. Yes. So all this we actually talk about investing is not a one session and one size fit everybody.
Yes.
This is really
it's a big subject.
A very big area of discussion.
Yes.
Different area of specialty. So we as an estate agency company, we are an estate agency of operational agency work. Our main role, of course, is to advise our buyers and also our stakeholders, including our landlord. Sometimes we do see landlord grumbling, that they attachment, nostalgic attachment to the property. But then the property over years, as you mentioned, run down, and they're still thinking of selling at high price. So these are the issues. Is against the market, a bit like they're expecting to sell at high price, like what you said, 3-4 times like Polar Wood, but then the location is not like Polar Wood. The maintenance also not like Polar Wood, and yet they're expecting. So what have you to say, David?
Normally, when I meet my client, want to take a listing, I would talk to the property owner. What property I go and study all the property details,
Yes.
And then I will normally ask them, what do you have in mind normally?
What you have in mind, how much you worth?
Yes, but I say, Mr. or Madam, I will take your listing, right? And now I know that I take note that you want to sell it at this price, but I have to also verbally check the price of your house with my valuers, because I have valuers that I know. Then there's an indication of the price of your property.
So, can you maybe give our viewers some information on what is this valuation link? What does it actually affect? How does it affect your selling?
Because if you set the price too high, then it is very difficult, or very unlikely you get a buyer. But if you set too low, then it is not fair to the property owner. Because
but this pricing is set by the owner himself, right? He is the owner. He said, "I feel that this is the right price." Then you were saying you ask your valuer friend. You ask your valuer friend to give a independent value.
Yes.
So that is different. Let's say that's different from the owner's value. Then what would be like if still the owner say no? I think this is the value. Then you said, well, harder to sell, right? Harder to sell. What is the real reason that it's harder to sell?
Because the buyer also will have to. The buyer will also have to check with the market value, and also the buyer will also go to the bank. The bank, after all, will have to do a valuation.
Correct.
Once they do the valuation,
then the bank only can loan.
Yes, and then
not beyond the amount.
And the buyers also will know what is the market value.
That's right.
But if it is like plus minus 10%, maybe if they like that location, that house,
the premium, the buyer will
they
pay.
don't want to pay the premium. But if you say the owner talk about to 50%, actually this house only worth 1 million, but he or she is selling at 1.5.
Then
definitely it's very tough to find
a buyer.
That may be wasting
there is also issue of a loan, right? Then you have this capped by the valuer market value from the bank side. Bank will give it to their valuer to have an assessment on the value, and the bank would not loan more than the market value.
Yes.
Right? And therefore, if the prospect buyer wants to still buy the house at 1.5, then they have to come up with another 500,000.
Yes.
On their own.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So this become a difficulty, of course. And I think as we are in the real estate agency practice, we need to also report in case of any reason that this money comes from how do I put it? Unknown sources.
Yes.
We put under unknown.
Yeah, we have to comply with the
we have to comply with the law, which is the Anti-Money Laundering and Counter Financial Terrorism Act. So these are issues.
So real estate has to look after a lot of things.
A lot of things, yes.
Yeah, that's why I find this real estate very interesting.
Yes.
And we are here to advise our clients, and also we got to be fair to our
both sides,
to the seller, to our client,
that's right.
All right, or to the landlord, and to the tenant, or to the buyers.
To the buyer. So issue of investment, maybe we will have to invite David to come back again on a more detailed part. But as we progress into, I think the major whatever observation or whatever market condition we see now is a lot of young people, they seems like they can't afford, I don't know, maybe they can afford but still they don't want to buy. They say they don't want to be tied down. They want to be free, so they don't want to invest as early. Like I did my investment for real estate when I came out from university, 26 years old, I bought my first property. But I see now a lot of young people, until they get married also, they don't want to buy property. So maybe David, you can have your view on this.
I have two possible reasons behind that. Number one, they don't have this type of exposure and experience. Maybe now the younger generation is too pampered by the parents.
Okay.
Normally the parents bought for them, so they do not have to think about all this.
Buying property.
Yeah. Number two is that younger generation now go for fast profit. But like what we shared just now, investing into property is a long term, non-liquid.
Non-liquid.
So normally they are very impatient. They want fast. They want instant.
Instant.
So property investment cannot give them the instant returns.
Yes, yes. Also, looking around, most of the salary of our young people who just come to work, probably 2,000-3,000 ringgit. So if you use the 1 per 3, the 1/3 of the salary, they cannot afford to buy.
Yes, the property price, yes, I totally agree. The property price now is too high for those youngsters who just come out to work. Even a fresh graduate with a salary of 2,000 or 3,000 cannot afford to buy a property. If they buy a car, then they can't go for property already.
So then the strata of the population that is sustaining the property market would be the rich, the super rich and the rich. The general public, which are just normal salaried men, would eventually have to rent if they can't have a mean to buy. So what do you see the rental market as in also tied down to investing? Of course, we are looking at on one side the one who can afford to buy, and later on rent out to these people who can't afford to buy. So that means you are looking at investment to rental property would have growing demand, right? Because less people afford to buy. So there are more and more people wanting to rent, right? So what do you think?
Yes, I agree with you. Property investment are for the rich and wealthy. But then when rent it out, if I look at Kuching market, when the income is not that much, they also cannot pay high rental. That is an issue
so
here.
This is an issue.
That's why in Kuching, you will say talking about rental return, we seldom find property which can give more than 5%.
Or higher than the amount that they could do pay the mortgage. You are saying if they have to pay mortgage at 2,000, they can't rent a monthly rental of 2,000.
Exactly.
See, this is a continuous challenge. So how then it is a good investment? You come back to the initial discussion that we were saying, investing to get return, but they can't. They can't fulfill that demand to pay for 2,000, 2,500. Then how are you going to invest and have a return?
To me, those who just came out to work with low income, it is alright to rent. Wait until their salary or the monthly income had reached certain level, maybe 6,000 or 5,000 and above, then they can look into a lower market properties to buy.
So would you think of maybe buying subsale or buying smaller units in order to be able to afford them buying it into property earlier than later?
To me, it's always good to start something small.
Small.
If you say your income is only 6,000 or 7,000, you cannot buy $1 million house.
Yeah.
You can always buy a 400 or 500 apartment, because smaller property also will appreciate.
Yeah.
But if you don't start somewhere, you will be left behind. You will be forever renting.
Exactly.
So I think for those youngsters who are just coming out, when you reach certain level of income, you buy a property.
There is also self-discipline to every month keep some money.
Correct.
To force yourself to save some money.
Yes.
Or else you will be spent anyway.
Yeah. So when you achieve higher income level, when you get more income in future, you can always upgrade, sell off, and then upgrade to a bigger.
Yeah.
Or a
larger house.
Or
more prime area.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean a person must only buy one.
Yes.
It means it doesn't stop you from buying more, right?
Yeah.
So that is, in a way, kind of investment.
Yes.
Of course, the first one may be just temporarily used for own use.
Yes.
Instead of renting, you finally have a place to stay.
Yeah.
And eventually, as you progress midlife, then you pay off.
Yeah.
You buy another one.
Yeah. Yes.
So these are the things that I find good planning and discipline.
Yes.
So, is there a easy formula to follow? Like you mentioned about having to invest early in your life, try and do something about it, not simply wait for things to happen, right? You must plan. Plan out. So what are your advice and formula to young people? David?
For investing in property, there is some guideline. If you say any formula, there is no hard and fixed rule. But if you invest, there are a few things that we have to look at it.
Okay.
If you want to buy for rental income, you have to look at what is the rental income. If it is
study the market.
Yes, study the market. If it is too low, not worth even because you buy using bank loan. If your rental is too low to cover
the repayment,
there is a risk there. And number two, you have to look at your own cash flow. Yes, your own cash flow. Say for example, the property may not be occupied all the time. You want to look for tenant, it may be 3 months or 6 months down the road. There is nobody renting. It is a possibility that it can be left vacant, no income. So you must have a personal savings
to cover that period.
Maybe 6 months, maybe 12 months to be on the safer side.
So these are the easy and logic way of thinking about investing. Because before you invest, you must have enough money. Right? You cannot be borrowing money and not able to repay, causing your credit issue. They call it credit worthiness. To have problem. Some people, they overstretch. They call it overgear. And therefore they suffer, eventually holding up property that is not liquid, as David has mentioned. There was one time they talk about compressed loan, right? They asked the investor to buy a few units, more than one unit, and eventually go into trouble, right?
From my point of view, as I say, I'm always conservative. Try not to use this compressed loan or multiple units buying at the same time. There are a lot of property guru there teaching you how to buy one unit using the rental to cover the bank loan, and then using the tenancy agreement, the income from the rental to buy a second unit. That one had to be really careful. To me, it is not advisable unless you have the income or the savings to back up.
So nowadays, it seems that the banks are all connected, right? They have a system, they know that this application for bank mortgage, the housing mortgage on a bank, then they will know that the same cannot happen on the other bank.
Yes.
So not like last time, the bank, they are not connected, so they may be approving five applications by 5 different banks. Now, this is all not possible.
Yes.
Stopped by government already, right?
Yes.
But stopped by bank.
Actually, it's a good practice.
It's a good practice.
Because the bank will first of all check the CTOS and CCRIS, the long commitment. It's all transparent.
All transparent. No such thing as, wow, I can be suddenly 5-6 unit, I'm owning 5-6 unit, and based on what you said, the guru are teaching all these things,
yes.
How to shortcut. So, we come to the last topic. A lot of our viewers may have in mind, any shortcut. David, any shortcut for real estate investing?
For real estate investment, there's no shortcut.
There's no shortcut.
We have to start somewhere. I will advise those public out there, if they have not started investing, especially if they are at the age of 30 to 60, this is the prime period.
Okay.
They can try out.
All right.
Maybe if they don't want to invest a lot, maybe they try to buy the first property for their own use.
Okay.
Or they use 10 or 20% of the portfolio, investment portfolio. They have many types of investment. They have unit trust, they have stock market. Then property can be one of the portfolio.
Correct.
It is always try out.
Yes.
But like what we say, property we cannot do it overnight. We need patience, and then it is non-liquid. Those are the some issues that we have to take note.
Yes.
But overall, real estate investment is a good investment.
Yes. So, any last few messages you would like to speak to the viewer, David, on the career side? If you are looking at real estate as a career, what do you want to advise our viewers?
To me, I was a banker before. Now, I have been in the real estate as a real estate negotiator for 5.5 years. I find it is very enriching. Okay. It is very rewarding, and for those of you who are interested in this line, can always come to talk to us. Sinjun Properties is very progressive. It is very educational, and we really need. We have a lot of learning and sharing session,
Yes.
And it's able to guide us through.
Yes.
So I think it is a very rewarding career. Come and find out more, and especially for those of you who have interest in mind to invest in property, you have a lot of chances to come across a good property when you invest, because we are a real estate agent. People will approach us for properties.
That's right. So in that sense, to round up, I just summarize that today's episode number 5, we have Mr. David Ling, who is our negotiator in Sinjun Properties, gave us an overview and some of the area quite detailed on how investing in real estate is, the risk, and the balancing the outcome of the investment, taking a step forward, taking charge of your own investing into real estate properties. We would eventually still invite Mr. David to come back for a few more sessions, hopefully to look into more detailed areas, especially more to investing and banking. Thank you very much, David.